Hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely Doomer day. It's Tuesday, October 25th, and I have a few news articles to go through today that I felt of particular interest to my subscribers. So, this is something like an economy and climate roundup. Get situated, get your coffee, and let's get rolling. First up, from Newsweek, I have two articles from Newsweek. China says don't interfere as U.S. Navy warns Taiwan war could be this year. Beijing has responded to the U.S. Navy's warning of a potential Chinese attack on Taiwan as soon as this year by cautioning Washington against any intervention on the sensitive geopolitical issue at the core of strained ties between the world's top two powers. Speaking at an event hosted by the Atlantic Council on Wednesday, the U.S. Naval Operations Chief Admiral Michael Gilday, I can't even say names today, Michael Gilday, discussed his force preparation for potential conflict erupting on the Taiwan Strait, where President Xi Jinping has long vowed to reunite mainland with the self-ruling island. We've heard this over and over, but we can mix it up and make it a little more fun. No lie, as activists attack King Charles waxwork with cake. Let's go to three reports actually. The AXA Future Risks Report 2022, climate change is becoming number one concern around the world. Here in the States, we're just much too concerned with inflation and a potential civil war. However, according to AXA Future Risks Report, climate change becomes the number one risk in all geographies. Geopolitical risks, including the war with China, risk comes in second, overtaking cyber and pandemic risks. Jumping ahead from the manual, new climate report warns of uncharted territory of destruction. The latest climate change news report is pretty grim. A new report, according to the United in Science 2022 report, we're going in the wrong direction. No kidding, huh? The world's chances of avoiding the worst effects of climate crisis are quickly slipping away as we collectively repeatedly fail to take necessary action. Most shocking findings of the report are that climate change organizations around the world, last 7 years have been the hottest on record. There's a 93% chance at least one out of the next few years will be warmer than 2016, the current hottest record. I'm not going to go through all these statistics, but most notably, current climate change disasters are costing $200 million a day in daily losses. When are those losses going to get to you is the question, because time is of the essence. No joke, this from Manga Bay. Arctic sea ice lost to increase strong El Nino events linked to extreme weather. The frequency of El Nino events could increase by 35% by the end of the century as the Arctic sea ice begins to melt out. Well, we already know that the Arctic is melting 3 to 4 times faster, and Siberia much more. There's a Future of Humanity report I watched with my roommate last night, side note, about essentially the core of our planet is shifting a little bit because of centrifugal force and energy coming from the center of our galaxy that's causing our planet to actually widen a little bit. The repercussions of this are being felt all over the world with increased tectonic numbers off the chart. And so it appears to me that we have a situation where we're getting screwed from below and screwed from above. The report, or the presentation, I'll put a link below. I really want all of you guys to watch it and give your feedback. I'll ask again in my next video, but yeah, even if half of what they say is true, and I don't doubt their findings on earthquakes and volcanoes, then yeah, it's pretty scary. So time is of the essence. This from Newsweek, how preppers are getting ready for World War III. What a headline. And I'm just going to read this straight from the top. It's kind of a long one, so buckle up. As talk about the threat of nuclear war is being heard against the backdrop of the Ukraine war, and with continuing fears about climate change and economic turmoil, people are beginning to wonder how they can prepare for the worst. Concerns about nuclear Armageddon and global food shortages have many of us worrying about what will happen next, but some have already put their apocalypse plans into place. Part of prepping, quote, is not to have to react every time something bad happens, founder of the website The Prepared. Similar to when COVID hit, where preppers were safe at home, not waiting in line to buy toilet paper. Quote, the Ukraine war, like any major event, motivates a chunk of new people to take preparedness seriously. Those who are already prepared aren't changing their behavior or doing anything differently because they're already prepared, says Survivor, founder of SurvivorJane.com. Regarding the Ukraine war, our behavior hasn't changed per se, as we currently live a self-reliant lifestyle. However, with that said, we have picked up our pace in areas where items are becoming harder to come by, such as used to fix or repair vehicles, machinery, tools, building supplies, and supplies for animals. She continued, quote, to me, the biggest threat to humanity right now is our reliance on industrial agricultural food system. With all the reported factory fires, drought, natural disasters, inflation, shrinkflation, and food packaging, fuel costs, and shipping issues to move products, people aren't going to be able to afford food or to feed their families. That's a pretty stark warning. For Rami, the biggest threat to our species is more intrinsic. Humans are the biggest threat to humanity, he said. It's easy to point out surface issues like climate change, economics, and the breakdown of civil society, democracy, law, and order, but we could solve those problems if it weren't for people just getting in the way. The real blocker and why so many people are so worried of the future is a portion of our society who will never let those solutions happen. I think we can all wonder and speculate who those people might be. Humans have had several basic needs, such as water, food, fuel, shelter, and it can be hard to know which ones to focus on. The skill I most definitely recommend is to grow your own food. It's a lot easier than what people think, and it's far healthier. You hear that, Ishmael? Quote, you can start small if you don't have outdoor space by planting vegetables and herbs and planters on a porch or balcony, or even inside a sunny window. And if you do have a grassy area, you can make raised beds to make your vegetables in, or make a backyard garden. She continued, another intricate part of growing your food, and something that a lot of us don't even think about, is saving seeds. It's so rewarding to see the fruits of our labor, but what some of us don't realize is we can have these fruits and vegetables each year by just saving these seeds from your harvest to plant for next season. Rami's top survival skill is even more basic, water. I'm gonna get like 30 5-gallon jugs of water stored away at least. Water. Every single person should know how to drink and how to find water and how to make it safe to drink. Also get a water purifier and water filter tablets. It's so critical to life, yet so vulnerable. Just look at the recent Jackson, Mississippi crisis, and modern people have never had to think about those issues, so it's becoming a lost skill. He continued, quote, everyone's basic goal should be able to go without warning, go turtle mode, lock yourself in your house for 2 weeks, no utilities, no deliveries, etc. If you can turtle for 2 weeks, you'll be able to make it through the majority of possible disruptions. So you say. There isn't anything specific to do for the Ukraine war, mostly because it's very unlikely things will escalate into nuclear war or get to the point of major disruptions in the West. We're already feeling the effects such as continued inflation and supply chain crunches around energy, food, etc. Prepping can seem overwhelming, unfeasible, and often unnecessary, but he has some simple advice. It's easy to prep. Whenever you have a few extra dollars in your budget, just go buy a few extra non-perishable foods and drinks you already buy. Then get the habit, the first in, first out system to rotate your pantry supplies. That way you always have a little extra buffer at home when emergency strikes. For Jane, organization is key. The number one important, most prepping tip I can give is to make a plan. Preparedness is not just about buying a lot of things and thinking you'll be fine. It takes planning. You and your family need to decide how much water and food you need for any given disaster, a safe shelter, one you can go to, how to stay warm or cool. People need to understand that time is of the essence. People need to start preparing themselves and family for what might be around the corner, higher food costs, shrinking food shelves, and higher gas costs. We need to stock up on food and other needs. Not an alarm bell Newsweek article at all. You care more to know about Brad and Angie's distorted and uncomfortable marriage, right? Or the that new K-pop band, right? Just whatever the tabloids show. Just keep distracted, consumer. Keep distracted. All right, guys? This has been your news roundup, October 25th. Hit like and subscribe. My name is Reagan Parenton. Thanks again. PayPal donation link below if you enjoy my social commentary on doom news. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.